What's up, my comic book brothers and my comic book sisters from another mister. Today we're going to do a comic book review of Spawn, issue number 6, brought to you by Rated Comics. Let's get to it. We begin this issue in Sicily. Overkill takes down a building for the Mafia. The message is clear: you mess with the Mafia and they'll mess with you. The military has been called, but there's nothing much they can do. A multinational firm had refused to cooperate on all levels, so the crime cartel decided to do some leveling on its own. That leveling came in the form of Overkill. The reason why he was given that name was because of his tendency to go beyond the necessary means. He quickly dispatches the men after taking several rounds of bullets and explosive damage. He leaves virtually unscathed. To the Mafia, this is a perfect employee that does the job with enthusiasm, service with a smile. Even when the military tries to take out Overkill with a full-on tank, he leaps high into the air and comes crashing down with everything he has. It's reasons like this why the Mafia is able to hold on to power for so long. In this panel right here, Freddy, a hobo, gives up Spawn's location in exchange for drugs. 10 ounces of powder by 8 p.m. the next day is what Freddy wants. Once he reveals that Spawn stays on 42nd and 6th Street when he's there, but moves around a lot, the mobsters kill him before completing their end of the bargain. So now the mobsters report back to their boss, Tony Twist. In his office, he tells the guys that there's got to be more to this mystery man, referring to Spawn, than that meets the eye. Anyone who could rip hearts out of humans shouldn't be taken lightly. He wants Spawn to suffer before he's killed. Then his last request: bring me his heart. Meanwhile, in the alley, several homeless people offer comfort to Spawn. They invite him to sit next to them and share his story. They don't want Spawn to be afraid of them, as he always sits aloof. Spawn then tells them his story, his backstory with Wanda and Cyan. And I'll sum it up for you rather quickly if you guys watch Spawn Beginnings, issues number 1 through 5. If not, I'll be sure to put the playlist at the end of this video. The location is Queens, New York, and the story is about a mother, a father, and a baby. The mother is Wanda Blake, Spawn's wife, and she believed Al to be dead for 5 years. Now she's remarried with a beautiful daughter named Cyan, who's 15 months old. Her new husband is Terry Fitzgerald, a good father and a caring spouse, and the best friend to Al Simmons, which makes the situation more tragic. Why? Should Al intrude or leave Wanda to live her new life in peace? Neither choice will bring her happiness to all involved. Until Spawn reaches a decision, he will be haunted by this no-win situation that's slowly tearing him apart. And by the way, if you're liking the content we're throwing up, you know what to do. Don't be shy, don't be stingy. Like and subscribe to Rated Comics YouTube channel. Here on Rated Comics, we do awesome comic book reviews, comic book related content with the occasional comic book giveaway. Not to mention, feel free to check out the playlist at the end of this video if you wish to catch up on all the Spawn content as you try to cover all the Spawn issues. So far, we've covered issues 1 through 6 and issue 296 through the current run so far. Lastly, check out RatedComics.com for some amazing comics to add to your comic book collection. Not to mention, we have some really cool Rated Comics exclusives as well. With all that being said, let's get back into the content. When the two mobsters start wasting random bums looking for Spawn, Al shows up and takes out one of the mobsters. He demands to know who's after him and why. After Spawn gets his answer, he takes him out too. At a meeting with the mobsters, Gavino recommends Overkill to take out Spawn. Word spreads quickly that the mob requests a meeting with the person responsible for the deaths of the 7 leaders, courtesy of the Violator, of course, but Spawn is the one to answer the call, because he has to be, because they think it's him. Now, added to that request is another homeless victim. He's not happy that all the street people are under threat by implied association. When he arrives, Spawn asks that they now show themselves, if they dare. Out come Overkill. They size one another up. They get some name calling out the way. You know, boys gotta be boys before the boys throw down kind of thing. But someone has to make the first move. In this case, it's Overkill. He was gonna kill Spawn quickly, but why? In his opinion, there's no point in hurrying. The two square off. While Overkill easily overpowers him, Spawn does trick him into messing up his robot hand before rendered near death. Spawn refuses to use his powers to spare them as long as possible so that he can continue to live on Earth and ask questions about his past and get those answers too. Overkill continues to taunt Spawn some more, wanting to see evidence of him having the power to rip men's hearts out. He wants his trip to America to be worth it. Overtkill walks away, unaware that Spawn is still alive after pounding him into submission. Spawn heals himself with necroplasm and heads to a warehouse on an army base to pick up guns and ballistics. To preserve his power and avoid second death, he's going to use the skills he already has as a former mercenary. Now equipped with the knowledge of fighting the half-breed cyborg, he's ready for round 2. And that's where we end this issue of Spawn, issue number 6. Hey, I'm definitely enjoying going back old school with the Spawn comic books. And by the way, link in description if you wish to add this comic book to your comic book collection and or any other comic books or Rated Comics exclusives to your comic book collection as well. Lastly, this review is sponsored by coffee, so if you'd like to buy your boy a cup of coffee, link in description. But the greatest compliment you guys can do is by liking this video and subscribing to Rated Comics. Thank you again for watching. Until next time.